Now, your top campus stories with Samantha Burnett and Elizabeth Lindahl. Weather with Evan Rosnick, and BNN Blitz with Eli Bennis and Marissa Day. This is Blugold News Now.
Good evening, I'm Elizabeth Lindahl. Coming up tonight, a look into DEI celebrations on campus and your weekly recap of Blugold sports on BNN Blitz. But first, a new nonprofit opening in Eau Claire. Heartworks Inc. opened a new facility in Eau Claire last week. Their mission is to find cures for congenital heart defects, CHD, and save lives. The organization was founded in 2020 to fund research of defects that are understudied and underfunded. Students and faculty from the Biomedical Engineering program at UWEC visited Heartworks for their grand opening last week. They went on a tour of the lab where they produce hearts to then be transplanted into congenital heart patients. Heartworks is funded by donation and purchasing food at the food truck outside of their building. Monday was Indigenous Peoples Day here in the U.S. BNN reporter Evan Harton has more on how one UWEC department celebration.
Thank you, Elizabeth. The American Indian Studies Department held their celebration in the Woodland Theater in the Davies Center. The event showcasing the screening of the new documentary by Eau Claire's very own Dr. Brian McInnes called Sacred Wisdom, Sacred Earth. The documentary shares the efforts of the Wisconsin Native American tribes to restore their spiritual, cultural, and environmental resilience is rooted in their sacred connection to the land and waters of the Great Lakes. After the screening, a small reception was held which included food from the native cultures. Back to you, Elizabeth.
Thanks, Evan. Latinx Heritage Month takes place from September 15th through October 15th. National Hispanic Heritage Month recognizes the contributions and influence of Hispanic culture. With Latinx Heritage Month now ending, UWEC Recreation, in part with the Latinx Student Association and the Multicultural Student Services, hosted a salsa dancing class. It was a 50-minute workshop taught by an instructor from Chippewa Valley School of Dancing, followed by a free dance period to practice your skills. This week, the Chickahuac exhibition was held in the McIntyre Library, highlighting various stories of women in both rural Mexico and the Midwest. BNN's Maddox Emmerich has more on the stories that were shared.
Thanks, Elizabeth. The Chickahuac exhibition on Tuesday, October 14, sought to bring attention to the stories of 6 women who all have a strong connection to the Midwest. They came to the area to work or cared for their families in Mexico as their partner worked in the Midwest. This event highlighted many lesser-known stories about immigration from the perspective of those personally affected by it. The event has been in the works since January this year, and it was made possible through collaboration between several organizations, including the Latinx History Collective, UWEC staff, and students who assisted in designing posters, websites, and translating material into Spanish to ensure accessibility. The event was made to bring awareness to these stories and the lessons they can bring.
What I would love for people to take away is that shared connection that we have with others, is that in terms of, again, conversations around immigration, they're often we don't, it's complex, and there are many different facets to it, and especially I think a lot of times we're missing the human element of it.
The exhibit will stay up on the first floor of the McIntyre Library until November 4th. Back to you, Elizabeth.
Thanks, Maddox. BNN will be right back after this break. Stick around for your weather forecast and an update on Blugold Sports from BNN Blitz.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Good evening. I'm future forecaster Evan Rosnick with your weather report tonight. But before we start, how do we look? BNN got quite the glow up, huh? I even have my own logo. Look at that. Isn't it great? We called it Future Forecast because Weather with Evan unfortunately doesn't fit into the logo, but I'm still happy with how it turned out. With that, let's get into your future forecast tonight. We've had a cool start to the week, seeing a good amount of gray skies and rain. Today was no exception, as the weather was cloudy and the average temperature was 52 degrees. We also saw a little change in the temperature over the day, with a high of 54 degrees and a low of 51 degrees. Looking at our week ahead, we'll be hanging around the 50s and 60s as fall continues to come. Friday will start us off with the continuation of cloudy weather as we see the high reach into the 70s at 71 and the low will be relatively high at 51 degrees. Saturday will drop us back into the 60s with a high of 65 and a low of 43 with partly cloudy weather. Sunday will also be partly cloudy with a high of 57 and a low of 34. Monday will have very similar conditions to Saturday, the only difference being that Monday will be mostly sunny. On Tuesday, we'll drop back into the 50s with a high of 53 degrees and a low of 36, and on Wednesday, we'll have a high of 54 and a low of 35 with partly cloudy weather. Looking around the region here, we can see that we finally got some new cities added to the map. Temperatures this time are very consistent across the board, with all the temperatures fitting in the range of 52 to 54. The Chippewa Valley shows temperatures of 53 in Eau Claire, 54 in Menominee, and 52 in Chippewa Falls. One of the newly mapped cities is Bloomer, which is the same temperature as Eau Claire at 53. Lake City, Minnesota is at 54, while Red Wing is at 53. Newcomers to the map, Oak Grove and River Falls, are both at 52 degrees, while other newcomers, Stillwater, is at 53 degrees. Andover and Brooklyn Park are also at 53 degrees, while Minneapolis, Shakopee, and Bloomington are all at 54 degrees. That's all for the show previously known as Weathin' with Evan tonight. Come back next time to see if we keep these graphics or if it's just another passing fad like that internet stuff. With your BNN Future Forecast, I'm Evan Rosnick. Back to you, Elizabeth.
Thanks, Evan. BNN Blitz is back this week with more Blugold sports updates. Over to you, Marissa and Eli.
Welcome to BNN Blitz. I'm Eli Bennis.
And I'm Marissa Day with your weekly recap of Blugold sports action.
Coming off a 3-1 win over University of Northwestern on October 8th, Blugold's volleyball traveled to Holland, Michigan to take on the Hope College tournament October 10th and the 11th. Their first opponent was Coe College, who entered the match 12-4 on this season. Coe's first set victory was just the 5th time the Blugolds have conceded the first set. The Bluegolds responded with the 17-kill second set, holding Coe to just 6 kills and winning the second set 25-15. A 17 and 19 kill performance in the third and fourth set secured a 3-1 set victory over Coe. Outside hitter Bailey Leak matched her season high in kills with 25. Uncharacteristic enough for the Blugolds, they yet again dropped the first set, this time to Millikan University in their second game of the tournament. The Bluegolds were held to 10 kills, their lowest amount in a period throughout the game. The Bluegolds will go on to win the next 3 sets, dominating in the fourth period, winning 25-14 with a 0.438 kill percentage, which is good for the third highest total in a set for the Bluegolds on the season. Looking for a tournament sweep, the Bluegolds face tournament host and number 12th ranked Hope College. The Bluegolds yet again were outmatched in the first set, losing 25-9. The Bluegolds had just 3 kills in the first set, with that being the lowest mark in a single set for the team on the season. Facing adversity once again, in familiar fashion, the Bluegolds bounced back, taking the next 3 sets, defeating Hope College 3-1. In sets 2-4, the Bluegolds had 44 kills.
UW Eau Claire men's club hockey is off to a rolling start. The ACHA season started back on September 26th, and so far the Bluegolds have had a dominant presence with a 7-1 record and many high-scoring games. The team has taken down several WCCHA opponents, including UW Oshkosh, UW La Crosse, and the University of Minnesota club teams. In the team's recent matchup against the Northern Michigan Wildcats, goaltender Caleb Bentz was even able to get in on the scoring action, launching the puck from behind his net and sending it across the full length of the ice for a game-winning goalie goal at the end of the third period, a rare occurrence at any level of hockey, but especially in the ACHA. Bentz also played a key part in the team's 3-0 shutout against Michigan Tech this week, saving 43 out of 43 shots. The Bluegolds will continue their club season this weekend as they take on the men's club hockey team from the University of Wisconsin-Madison on home ice for Alumni Weekend.
Junior swimmer Jack Gunderson received the Quick Trip WAC Swimmer of the Week honor for the week of October 6th through the 12th. On October 11th, Gunderson set the season's fastest time in the conference in the 100-yard breaststroke at 57.87 seconds against UW Oshkosh. He was also part of the 200-yard medley relay, which defeated Oshkosh and took first in the 50-yard freestyle. Gunderson is currently the top-ranked swimmer in the conference and is the 13th ranked swimmer in all of Division III swimming.
Speaking of Blugold volleyball, this week the WIAC announced that all 3 Quick Trip Athlete of the Week honors went to athletes from UW Eau Claire volleyball. Setter Alex Keeble earned Offensive Player of the Week, directing the Blugold attack with precision throughout the Hope College tournament. Keeble averaged 10.6 assists per set over the week, including a 47 assist performance against Coe College, while adding 34 digs and helping hold opponents to a .176 hitting percentage. Libero Caitlin Erickson claimed Defensive Player of the Week after anchoring the back row with consistency and control. She averaged 5.2 digs per set for the week and has maintained a .971 reception rate on the season, keeping opponents to just over 10 kills per set. Rounding out the trio, outside hitter Abby Stanwood was named Specialist of the Week after contributing 27 kills and 12 digs during the Hope College tournament, marking her 6th double-double of the season. She's currently averaging 3.6 kills per set and hitting .250 on the season. Stanwood also received shining reviews from the AVCA, earning the designation of Division III Player of the Week in addition to her WIAC honors, making her the first Blugold since 2019 to receive the honor and the 3rd honoree in Blugold history since Michelle Argenbright's inaugural designation in 1993. Together, Stanwood, Keeble, and Erickson highlight the depth and balance driving the 7th-ranked Blugolds through another dominant stretch of their season.
That's all for the world of Blugold sports. I'm Eli Bennis.
And I'm Marissa Day. Back to you, Elizabeth.
Thanks, Marissa and Eli. Well, that's all that we have for you tonight. Join us next week for your latest news updates and weather. Make sure to check us out on mytv10.uwec.edu and at UWEC-TV10 on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. I'm Elizabeth Lindahl. Thank you and good night.